All right, today is November the 12th, 2016, and right now at 11:45 we have a temperature of 78 degrees. The relative humidity is very, very low for what we would expect to see with what's happening right here. We have a moisture field moving in, and all this should be delivering a lot of rain to the Southern California region. But yeah, we have a very low 23% relative humidity. The barometer is reading high at 30.06, so we've got high pressure installed, and we'll take a look at that. A very, very heavy chemtrailing. The entire Southern California area is a whiteout. We just have just very, very, very heavy, extremely heavy chemtrail spraying. And we'll take a look at the MODIS today map. So we got a temperature of 78 degrees. We've got a dew point of 39 degrees, 23% humidity. All right, so that's the situation right now at 11:45 a.m. in the foothills. Let's look at some of these maps. As I say, back in the 60s and the 70s, if we saw this on the radar, on the weather report, we'd be getting a lot of rain, many, many inches of rain right here. But if we go and take a look at the Doppler radar map, we see very little, if any, rain in the state. There is some rain up here near Ridgecrest. We have some rain offshore. That will probably not be allowed to move in. There are transmitters on these islands right here. This is San Nicolas Island, San Clemente Island. Both of these are military. They have golf ball radomes, flat panel type radar transmitters along both of these islands. And that coupled with the transmitters in San Pedro, and I believe there's some at Point Magoo up here near Oxnard. And there obviously was one down here near Escondido that we looked at. All of that, plus the overhead satellite activity, is stopping our rain. Let's go back to the map again and look at this. This is really criminal what we're witnessing. We're being poisoned with these aerosols, which contain aluminum, nanoparticulate aluminum, and other compounds which are toxic and breach the blood-brain barrier. All right, which is the explosion in Alzheimer's disease is, I believe, directly related to what is being sprayed over our heads here. And we're going to see this all winter long. We're actually having June and July weather here in November, and this is pretty awful. So we have terrorists running our weather, controlling our weather. We can see this is a close-up. This is the water vapor map for the southwest, and we can see the just a lot of chemtrail activity. We can see the spraying going on right here, actually. If we look at, let's go out and get the other map here. Let's go and take a look at the okay, so we can see what's happening here. We have a jet stream flow moving in, and that is being disrupted right here by a transmitter, which is breaking up the moisture field, the moisture in that jet stream flow, and is also preventing the jet stream from mixing with this frontal system moving in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the jet stream map right now. We can see that disruption right here. Got that cold front moving in, and we have a blockade right here. Okay, let's take a look at that again. This is calculated weather manipulation. The chemtrails are stopping the rain. They cause the capping inversion layer, prevent the lift. You have to have two things for precipitation to occur. You have to have moisture in the atmosphere, and you have to have lift, atmospheric lift. And the chemtrail aerosols, which are sprayed at about 40 to 45,000 feet, stop the lift in the atmosphere, and that then stops the precipitation process. Okay, let's look at the other maps here. We have the northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we can see a disturbance over here with a 10% chance indicated of hurricane development. This is moving in a easterly pattern. We can take a look at that in the East Coast map. All this is moving through Mexico diagonally out to the east. Let's go look at that right now. We have a sort of an easterly flow pattern here. We've got a transmitter generated blockade all through this area, which is going to prevent this diving low pressure system right up here from merging with all this moisture down in the tropics, in the southern part of the United States, through the Gulf of Mexico and out into the Atlantic. So you can see that very obvious blockade built in there. Okay, now here on the west coast, we have a couple of low pressures up here. One is a storm, and we have a transmitter, another separate transmitter right out here, which is heating up the atmosphere and evaporating the moisture in the jet stream as it flows towards the United States, right towards California and Oregon. Let's go ahead and look at this in the rainbow map, the infrared map. You see those two lows spinning around on the pinwheel. Actually, we've got three lows, one here, and one there. Okay. So we have terrorists controlling our weather, and we should be getting a lot of rain. This is something that if we saw, as I mentioned, back in the old days on the television weather, that would bring 2, 3, 4 days worth of rain easily right here. You got the cold front behind this. That would all move in. We'd have nice, really nice clouds and cool weather for November, but all of that has changed. We've got June and July and August weather the last 4 or 5 days up in the low 90s. Just really awful weather. It's not November at all anymore. We have spring and summer weather basically all year long, mostly summer weather. Now let's take a look. This is the National Hurricane Center. That's the disturbance there with 10% chance of hurricane formation. And the IntelliCast map, once again, we can see very odd return going on here. Let's go and zoom in and see what the hell's going on there. That's something new. Okay, well, this is very odd. I've never seen that, but this indicates if we can determine the spacing of these, and we can here, we have, see if we can determine the spacing on that, these lines of precipitation. Very odd. Line that up. This is something I've not seen. What we're seeing right here, that is very odd. But the spacing between these returns would give us an indication of the transmitting frequency that's causing that this pattern. Very strange. Okay, well, we can see that that is clearly a manipulation going on. We've got all this rain offshore, as I mentioned, and none of that's going to probably make it onshore. We've got a transmitter at work, obviously, right out here, which is causing these very strange returns. Keep an eye on that. All right, let's look at the, this is the Pacific Surface Analysis map, and we can see the high pressure that's been installed. That's interrupting the jet stream flow, and will prevent these next series of storms and gales from moving in. Those are all pointing to the north, so they'll be redirected. We've got that moisture field moving in right now over California, which is yielding zero rain for most of the state. And then today we've got the MODIS Today map right here. This is showing the this is a color satellite showing the chemtrail activity. This is Los Angeles right here, and everything you're seeing in the map is chemtrail activity, which has been sprayed over these clouds, which you can see right through this little aperture that's opened up in these chemtrail clouds. There's a small window here we can see down through the chemtrail haze and actually see some real clouds. And right in here, same thing, right here. So this is how it's done, folks. The jets are dispatched. I believe the Air Force is coordinating all this. The Defense Meteorological Agency. We see some natural clouds here, but they're spraying over. This is Lompoc and Vandenberg right here, Point Conception. Okay, so this is a real problem. And they could they could fine-tune their weather modification activity. They could fine-tune it and allow some rain in, but they're not doing that. They're just we're going to have a major problem with trees dying. We've already got a lot of old growth pine trees and bushes dying off in Southern California because there's been no rain really for the last, this will be the 6th year. Look at all these chemtrails out here over the Salton Sea area and out in the Mojave Desert, Anza Borrego Desert. This is really something. Look at that. They're all over the place. Okay, so that's it. We'll just leave it right here. And here's our next opportunity for rain going up in smoke. All right, that's it.